Hello, everyone. Look at what I got. I got some graphics. We got a countdown for the pre-show. Look how amazing this is. We're back. Oh, I'm back. Hey, everybody. So, we got the countdown going. Playing with some new stuff today. It's gonna be an experience. We got some music in the background. Gotta make some notes. I think the music's a little too loud. But let me know what you think. What else? And I think the graphic, it should be Whimsy Live pre-show. And then because it reads that the pre-show is starting soon in 8 minutes. And it's not. The regular show starts. It should be like, welcome to the pre-show. Whimsy Live starting soon. Right? Okay. We're gonna see how this goes. And I want to find a better track that's longer than 22 seconds. Yeah, I need to bring down that volume a little bit. Alright, so let's figure out this up here. It's a very interactive one today, guys. Kind of, I suppose. Alright. Where's everybody at? Willie? Esther? Mom? Grandma, where you at? I like it. Woo! So the music on that's just repeating for the next 6 minutes. Is it loud? Because I tried to play it the volume a little bit because I wanted it a little bit more quiet. Is it too loud? Like, is it overpowering me? Yeah, I gotta find a different audio track. And it's just repeating days. But this is part of the new template. It's gonna work out, make sure it works. Okay, well, that's good. It's like 35% volume, so that's what we're hoping for. Okay. Now, I was hoping for something like probably just slightly lower, or just like slightly. No, we'll see. I wish I knew how to, like, I wish I knew more about audio, because then, like, take this whole middle section and then drag that whole thing out for because I was able to play with it a little bit because there's a long end on the back end, so I was able to shorten that and then just copy it. But I just wishing it looked like a hard stop, like a hard stop and then like a hard replay. I don't know, this should be a pretty exciting show today. I got home. I've been editing and playing with this thing for the last 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Like I have the structure of it already, then I just kept adding more shit to it. We're gonna see everybody in the chats. If there's anybody else there, make sure you make some notes for me. I'm a note taker this week. What needs to be changed? Volume, and I gotta change the verbiage on the that slide. But the countdown's a pretty cool little thing, huh? And I don't have to tell people, like, if they're listening, to skip ahead because this is a pre-show. Digging it. Someone just jumped on. Who just jumped on? Oh, we found out who Kathy is. Kathy is the lady at work in the EDR. For whatever reason, I feel like it's 7. Yeah, we might have to keep track of how many times I repeat myself from live, the podcast, live, and then after time. Watch, check it out. Wait, no hands. 2.5 minutes, and see what happens. Hello. So yeah, we're gonna cut the pre-show back down to 10 minutes because I can't find a 15 minutes. But so what's nice though is like if you do jump in, you can see the countdown. So like, oh, okay, I can do this. Music was a piece that I commissioned early on. You just didn't quite feel like opening theme does, like the JSON stuff. So that's why we have. I paid for it, so I might as well use it somewhere, right? Today's gonna be a fun one, guys. I put a lot. Yeah. Oh my god, I put so much time into this thing. Oh, watch it just be a complete disaster. But we'll see. But if it does, that's part of the course, right? All right. 1 minute. It's free. 1 minute. I haven't tested all of this yet. Like conceptually, today's show is supposed to go really, really good. Who knows? Okay, so we're not saying. Okay, so this is left hand needs to be the active hand. No. There's a chance this might be the last. We'll find out when I messed it up. Yeah, everything plays correctly. That's free. Oh, this is gonna be the last. Like it's a 10-minute countdown, but the timer on it is kind of late. So we'll see what happens. And then there's the official ending. slide. Boom! Welcome to Whimsy Live. Hello, everyone. Look how cool it is. Oh man, I love it. That is so fun. Okay, now we're gonna try to take this off, and then if I bring it back up again, hopefully, because there's I got the whole show now in a like a video template, and then conceptually, so I forgot what the first slide was. So I'm not gonna get too much into it. How's everybody doing? Hello, Whimsy Live. All right, so I got the shirt on, I got the hat on. Let's start with the mascot. It's a fidget spinner, guys. Yeah. When was fidget spinners? Were they like 2015 to 2016? Wherever year it was, I was a year ahead of fidget spinners. Like I was there like very, very early on. And if anybody knows me, knows that I have hundreds of these silly things. I was getting into fidget spinners in the time that this thing was $30. I think I spent $20 on this one, but I did spend like $30 on another one. I do like the fidget spinners, so much so that when we were at work, my boss told me to go out and buy more different types of fidgets, and we gave them out to all the new people that would start work. So kind of like a little gift, you know, and then spreading the idea of like you can fiddle with stuff while you're working. I'm gonna say it's supposed to help with like ADHD or something. I don't know. All I know is like I'm just gonna play this single day. So yeah, this week. So I was kind of a trendsetter with the early adoption of the fidget spinner, and it might play better into a different conversation for like a week or two because I got some ideas and I got some thoughts I'm trying to work through before I go total rant. All right, so I'm gonna go back here. All right, and then look at that! Oh man! Boom! We got some animate. We got some transition animations. So we've been talking about like the last couple of weeks, right? That I want to try to get some structure to the podcast. And I think today there's like 3 different categories that we're going to play with, different topics and stuff. So getting to know me, right? So this will be a segment in which I just tell you what I've been up to the whole week. Not much. Obviously working on this thing. I've been working on this thing for about I worked on it for 2 days at work, and then I spent 2 hours on it tonight, or today before the show started. Kind of just kept tweaking it, moving things around. And then I got really adventurous and started adding more shit to it. So far right now, it's functionally working. If you weren't here for the pre-show, we have a countdown counter, which is super cool. There's like a music underlay on it of some work I had commissioned for a possible theme. I didn't like it, but since I have it and I paid for it, might as well put it in there. It's a little bit wonky on that part because it's only a 21 second like bit, and then it just repeats for 10 minutes. So if I can find a way to get it extended so that way there's no hard open, like a hard start and a hard off, I'd be happier with that. And then I think I'll play with the volume a little bit. What else have we been up to? Let's see. Work is going good. The day job doing pretty good. Working on some projects. That's kind of what inspired this a little bit. Was like as I do more stuff during the day job, like I get ideas and I start learning more stuff, and then I bring it over here. And then obviously whatever I do here, I'm going to bring back over there. And so if you're impressed with today's little presentation, you will be impressed with whatever I'm doing at work. What else is going on? Yesterday, Liam and I, don't know if you guys had a chance to listen to the podcast that we posted this morning. We did another Henry Stickmin with Liam. We had a good time with it. Definitely not as good as the first one. I think he was forcing it a little too much, but I think we still a decent episode. We had a lot of fun. I think that was the important thing. As long as he was having fun, because when he's having fun, then it's better for us to back and forth and banter and stuff. Yes, that's how I knew about the video. What video? What am I talking about? So yeah, it's Liam and I, right? So we hung out. We had a good day. What? So birthdays are coming up. Oh, yes. So I have two things to talk about real quick. Good thing, Liam and I got some early birthday presents. I think they're buying because he's getting other stuff for his birthday. So I got an early birthday present, but it took us 3.5 hours to put it together. We got a swing for the backyard and a glider seat. So, but he helped. I mean, he wanted to help, and he was in there trying to screw shit on, and you got to learn how to use an Allen wrench. So it was missing on YouTube. So I listened to it on the Yeah. For whatever reason, because I posted them both last night, and I looked this morning when Kelly was like, "Hey, it's not on YouTube." I was like, "Shit." So I was able to get back on there, but I don't know why the scheduling didn't work. But yeah, so we had a really good time. What was fun too was, thank you. We did do a good job on the winning the glider. Everything works. We sat on it, we swung, and we glided. So that was a fantastic day. The best part of the day probably was Sophie, right? She's out there. Liam and I we have two big boxes, right? Because we got to put everything together. And she's like walking around. She's like holding tools, and she's like, "I want to help." She's like, "Where can I throw stuff in?" And I'm like, "Give me a second. We'll find something for you." So she's just running back and forth all over the place and trying to help. And then we got done with the glider, and she was pretty much done with trying to help. She was just like, "I don't want. This isn't fun. Like, I don't know why you guys are just sitting on the ground and not doing anything." So when we took out the box, it was a much bigger box. It had to be 6 feet long. We'll call it 6 feet long, and like 6 by 3, 6 by 2. And she decided that she wanted to play in that box, so she was jumping in that box, and she was kid imagination. But then we went one step further, and we put the box back together, so the bottom box and the top box, right? Like that. And we ended up cutting a couple of large holes in it, and basically made her a car. Put a little steering wheel on it, some headlights. So for the last half hour putting everything together, she was just driving around in the rocks. And then we cut 2 holes in it because Liam sat in the back while she was up front driving. So that kid is amazing. She is so cool. She wore herself out because when we came back in to eat, she ate and then just passed the hell out. But yeah, she's so cool. Because like she'll drive and then she'll get out and then go somewhere and then get back and drive to a different location. Like, yeah, she's the coolest. And then Liam was playing with her as I was cleaning up because Liam was like, "I put stuff together, I don't clean up." So I was like, "All right, well, I'm glad I at least got him to help me out." Yeah, pretty eventful day. I don't know what else is going on this week. Ooh. I think this is the spot I should talk about it. I forgot what the name of the 3 segments are. I don't want. I think I know them, but it's okay. So, your books, the notebooks. If you want them, get them before the first, maybe a day or two before the first, because I'm going to take those down and I put up the new notebooks, the official first editions. Then I have until Friday. Well, Friday I'm going to reach out to someone on like Fiverr. But if anybody wants to make a couple of bucks transcribing 2 episodes of 37, transcribe them for the book, I'll be happy to pay you. Otherwise, I'm going to end up paying someone on Fiverr. So it's going to get done. Just throwing it out there if anybody wants to or knows how to transcribe 2 audio files and then edit it a little bit. What I was running into also is the first one I had for J Sarge. The funny thing is I have to go back and do like another hard edit on it because the person that did it didn't get that Tell 'em Steve Dave is the name of the podcast. So so they transcribed it and then went and then edited, but there was no errors because it was always like them, Steve, and then like comma Dave. It was like it's definitely not Tom Steve Dave. So I gotta go back and do a hard edit on that. So looking for a transcriber if anybody's interested, and then let's see. I need a photographer still. We're gonna do all the help I need is gonna be through the first, and then after that, I'll find. I got a couple of people lined up. So I did reach out to a high school kid that I met on the Nextdoor app, the neighbor app, and he was semi-interested. So I did talk to him and I sent in some the pictures of what I need done. The idea is if I can keep this locally sourced, like that's by all means, I'd love to keep it local with fans or family or friends, or in this case, local. And I'd rather pay them to do it than me going to somewhere else. So he's interested, but yeah, he's in high school. I have no idea if this person I've ever hired a photographer to take pictures of like the wooden tokens and everything else. So we'll see how that looks or what comes of that. I told him I'd send him some stuff this week. He's gonna talk to his teachers and his. I told him I'm like I will pay you if you know how much you want. I said I don't know what I'm doing. I said I don't know if like $1 or $2 a picture is inappropriate because they're not like. I even asked Liam if he wanted to try and do it because it's like, why don't we just get like a box and then black fabric on the inside so that way it creates like the thing, and then we get all the little stands and we just put them all in the stands and just take pictures of it. But I don't know how to work lighting, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully, and I told him like, regardless, whatever you want for money or whatever. I said if you want, I'll also give them a credit, obviously in the book. You know, and I don't know anything about books. I can't remember the last time I even opened a book. So I'm gonna be reaching out to a couple of you guys so I can figure out what a title page looks like, and then all the references. Like where do those go? Or do they just go on the bottom of the picture? I don't know. So we will do that. What else is going on? Now we talked a while about a writer's room. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna back off the writer's room for a second to help writing jokes. But holy crap! After you see today, I definitely need like if anybody's interested in helping find content or like help me put this thing together because I'll keep doing it by myself, but there's definitely some opportunity if people have a skill set they want to help out, you know, want to be put on the Whimsy team. Can't guarantee I'm going to pay you a bunch, but it's going to be fun. So like as you guys watch it, you can kind of see what I mean. Like I sent this whole thing to Chris, so we'll get some of his feedback and see if he can clean some of these things up a little bit. But I don't know. I think that's all I got for right now. Photographer, a transcriber, anybody who else writes some stories. Because yesterday or Saturday on the mind pockets. I believe there was one of the pockets was like a debate question or a conversation segment of the show. So if anybody wants to help find something not necessarily controversial, but something that has an opinion, help me get some research because I have like a page and a half of research that I'm having to do for today's topic at the end. By all means. Ooh, also, I need a voiceover person. If anybody has a good radio voice, I need a voiceover person. So if you know anybody who can read, let me know because I can't read and I hate doing voiceover stuff. So, if you guys want to, great. If not, I don't care. I got clearly I'm managing right now, and this is going to look fantastic. So I got to figure out the timing and pacing on these slides a little bit, but it's gonna. So I think we're done with getting to know me, and I think I'm talking a little fast, so probably can elaborate a little bit more. Just structuring the thing. Oh shoot! Did you guys listen to the mind pockets? So look at this. Like someone can make this better, right? But I mentioned how much I fell in love with the letter Q. Holy hell, guys. I was doing some research on the letter Q. Now look at how fun the tails are, right? So like back in the day, so here's where we're gonna learn some shit, right? So now I'm like I'm a live stream and I'm also educating, right? Like how cool is that? They used to use short tails. I made it like a PowerPoint, like because if I try to look down and read it, like you guys can read it yourself, but right. So like some old timey styles. I think it was mostly when like printing came out. It's a lot of like font that it was. So like early days, they were like, "Fucking man, we're just gonna put a tiny tail on smaller words, and then like long ass tails for longer words, and then like the whatever that other one is." The ligature, the QU ligatures. Like how cool, like prior to today, did we ever know that there were longer tails in font? Like it blew my mind. I fell down this rabbit hole like crazy. And that's why I just fell in love with the Q even more. Is this the whole idea of like why there's two can you imagine trying to write teach that in school and be like, hey guys, so Q's are always a pain in the ass. But depending on the size of the word, small tail, long tail. I think that is so cool. And then we got some. I think these are like 5 seconds long, so I gotta kind of like, okay, boom. All right, boom. Look at all these different tails on the top. You got like the middle, and then you got the more traditional, like, what was that, 5 o'clock? Then you got one that shoots out, like straight out from 5 o'clock. And then you got one that goes straight down, like that just blows my mind. I love everything about these cues. Yeah. The Q, my favorite part about the Q, right, is that they got rid of it because all these publishers were like, we're going to make longer and longer Q tails to try to outdo each other. So, like, this is the idea of like, when did the printing press come out? 1600s. Don't tell me. Gutenberg? Some Berg. What Berg made the printing press? Hold on. Something G Berg, right? Am I close? Or was that the cotton gin? No, the cotton gin was Whitney. Feel free to jump in the chat and like, so I'm not here for like 4 minutes trying to like right having a Berg. But yeah, I just love the whole idea of like 1803. They're like, I'm gonna write a book with huge tails, and then the next guy's like, well, my tails are gonna be bigger, and it was all like on the printing press. So like, you have to like make the Like so, it's all like tiles, right? And then you'd put them on the thing, and then you would just like right, like this stamp your book. So the idea that you would have like your sentence, then you have to rewrite the A or the U's and the A's and the B's just so that way your tail goes all the way across multiple letters. I love everything about that idea. And then just a fun fact is the idea that if we didn't use Latin as much, or if Latin is a dead language, but it's used a lot in science, in the science field. But the idea of like they decided to go with like a Greek or just hard transition into like an English or something that we could have possibly lost the Q. And the reason I like think about it for a second, like the idea of the alphabet, and that one day we're like it could have been a 25 letter alphabet. Is that kind of crazy to be like, nah, we get rid of the Q? It's an old timey thing. We're just gonna drop it. And then I don't know what, and then I guess we would just start filling more stuff with like KWs, KWEs. Is that Q? Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of interesting for you guys. Something you didn't know about. Like maybe that could be like a segment too. Like what do I call that? Like, hey, did you know? I need something in a pocket or gnome related. So, but it leads into the getting to know me because this is what I did. I fell down this rabbit hole of the Q. Love the Q, and it's really the capital Q, I think, because I don't. And then I try to go into like the lowercase Q's because they have a tail sometimes, like the upward. And then I was like, nah, just stick with the capital because he looks amazing. You're like, oh my god, that's talking about letter Q. All right, what else is going on? We gotta look. Okay, I gotta let that play through. There's no like next button. It's like the pocket watch, right? Boom. What are we watching? Man, how cool is that? I did all the shit by myself, guys. This is what I do all day now. But yeah, I still function at a pretty high level at both jobs. Well, Kelly laughs at me because she's like functioning, like awake. No, it's more than that. So I keep thinking I want to watch. Like, there's so much television out there, guys. Like, yes, sir. So again, we're going to interact, throw in what you're watching. I'll go through some stuff I'm watching, and I'll comment on what you're watching. But I fell down this other rabbit hole of shit that I've been watching for like the last 4 days, and I'll talk about that later. I think I mentioned this once before. I started watching my live streams like afterwards. I don't know how I feel about it. Like I watch it from the perspective of like what it looks like, what I'm doing, how I sound. So I can like we're not touching the table as much, and we're not like the autofocus isn't like all over the place anymore. Like I'm trying to stay still, except for this. Okay. So that was kind of weird, like watching your own stuff. Like when you talk to actors, like rarely do they ever go back and watch their own stuff. But I think it was educational for me. Also watching, so like this whole idea of like the different titles of each bit. Huge shout out to After Midnight and Taylor Thomas. Like, I love her so much. She's so funny. But her show you can find on Paramount. Thanks, Mom. But she kind of has her game show talk show structured similar to what I'm going to try to start doing, right? Like there's she always opens with the group chat, and she does a little couple of jokes in a little bit, and then there's another hashtag wars in which they play a game with hashtags. So, and then there are other segments that she repeats and some that, but it changes on every episode. So, took a little bit of the inspiration from where she, I mean, to be fair, like, but to see how it worked is kind of like where I got the inspiration from. Like, come up with multiple ideas and like keep it all segmented. But like when you like Jon Stewart, it's always like the opening monologue, then a small little bit, and then guess, guess, guess. And then I never watched the end of the show, so I don't know what they do at the end. But I like the title card aspect, the nice graphic to transition into it. So, what are you guys watching? I know Esther's watching This Is Us, and she's blowing through it like at a Ben's pace. Like she's watching 6 episodes a day. Probably not that much, but she's killing it. I watched part of it. I watched like the first 2 seasons at Mom's back in the day. First season was really good. I enjoyed it. I think Mom, you finished Last of Us. This Is Us. No spoilers, but did it hold up for the 5 seasons? 6 seasons that ran. Yeah, she's betting it, right? Which means she's watching 6 episodes a day. Because that's what 44 minutes per episode, because you have commercials, so they always can trunk it down. So 44 minutes times 6 is like 4.5, 5 hours. Yeah, that's about what that does. So in my 4 hours, 5 hours a day of television watching, do a little Whimsy, right? See what I'm doing. Some Taylor Tomlinson. It's a weird show because it's an hour long. Like for a midnight game show that it plays for an hour is weird. And I don't know why I think that's weird. Because like when you watch the show, you couldn't do it in 30 minutes. Like because it highlights 3 different comedians, right? Or mainly comedians, writers, actors. And in a 30-minute, you wouldn't be able to get the person because like they have such personalities that you do need the full hour to get the jokes from every one of those, as opposed to like just a random guest every week, like playing a game show. Nobody cares about that. So I can see you running it at 30-minute there. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that shit. Breakdown of my 5 hours a day. I also fell down this not rabbit hole. I fell into nostalgia. X-Men, the animated series that played back in like 96, 97 or 97, 98. It ended after like 3 seasons, and there was like maybe 30 episodes, 40 episodes. They remade it as a continuation of the original animated series. So like 30 years apart, the new season 4, so it's X-Men 97, it's the animated series, and it literally takes place right where the first original airings ended off. And what's super interesting about this particular idea and concept is it's not a reboot and it's not a remake. It's literally just a continuation. Most of the characters, the voice actors, most of those guys came back. They played with some of the animation, like the drawings of the characters, and they kept it almost identical to what it looked like in 97. And it's super crazy to think, like, I applaud what they did with it because they're like, they didn't try and make it prettier or nicer. They did play with some of the female characters' drawings a little bit. Nothing crazy, just a little bit like younger in the face. I think Jean Grey, instead of having like a ponytail, they did more of like her hair down. So for whatever reason, I guess that makes a I don't know. They fixed the boots and some of the but for the most part, it's the exact same show. And then even in the animation style, like it looks kind of choppy a little bit. But it's a good show. Like I liked it. It's coming out weekly, which is kind of bothersome. I would have binged that whole thing. I finished, and then let's see what else am I watching. Gen V, which is a spinoff of The Boys on Amazon. For whatever reason, I never watched the last 3 episodes, and it finished off pretty good. Kept everything within the same universe, but just in a school based in the same universe as Boys. What else? I watch. So we've heard that I talk or that I watch Korean K-dramas, but I also watch Korean competitive shows. What are they called? Whatever. So they have this one right now. It's called Physical 100. I don't. They just get 100 people of different like careers, like athletes, and then like wrestlers, runners, Olympic winners, and they bring them all in, and they do all these physical like tasks, and it's like every other competition game. Competition was the word. So it's like every other competition game where the first round is all 100 people had to run on treadmills for 25 minutes. And they 3 different stages, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. And whoever ran the longest ended up being captains for the team. Speaking of captains, I'm coming back to this. Hold on. So I fell down these rabbit holes every once in a while, just watching these random competition shows. But I only watched them. No, I like because I watched The Floor with Rob Lowe, and I don't know. It's weird. I just pick up a couple of them. If you guys are ever interested in watching bad voice dubbing, let me know. I'll give you some cool ones. The Devil's Plan on Netflix. Physical 100 was really good. Obviously, Squid Game. That one was actually pretty good. So, are you guys watching anything? I'm talking a lot. I'll wait for you guys. My mom watches Firewatch. Firewatch. Yeah. And Tracker. I have to watch Tracker after this and stay caught up on that. Last week's episode was actually pretty good of Tracker. It's still not a fantastic show, but it's a good show. And yeah, there's not a lot of stuff I'm like super excited about. Now, with that said, put a pin in that shit real quick. If you guys listen to the podcast, Liam totally jacked my kickball pick. So we're picking teams, and this kid was like, "Who are you gonna pick for round 2? Who's gonna pick for round 2?" And then he's like, "I talked to Kelly, and Kelly doesn't want to be on your team, Ben." Dad. And then he picks Kelly. Like, what the hell is this kind of conspiracy crap going on? So I just want to throw that out because I have to update everybody with the picks. And Liam thought he was cute by trying to steal my pick. Or Kelly was like, "I don't want to be on Ben's team." So I don't know where the controversy is here, but there's some shady shit going on. All right. Okay, back to the TV. There's not a lot of stuff I'm excited about on TV right now. I still do a lot of like videos and stuff on YouTube. Does anybody watch stuff on YouTube? Should I have a bit on what I'm watching on YouTube? Because I'll watch. I find one new guy and I just watch it for a week, and I just watch all of his videos. Tragic Tales on YouTube is interesting. 20-minute long videos, and he just finds tragedies. I did the Apple Falls. Ooh, what is Apple Falls? I do not know. Like, it's weird because there's so much TV. Like, I used to be on top of all this stuff. Like back in the day, that's all I would do is just watch TV. And now I'm like podcasting, building shit with the kids, building cars. Not upset about it, but I do like to know what is out there. So we're gonna look at Apple Falls. I do like the miniseries. All right. Annette Bening, Jack Lancey, Allison Brie. I do like Allison Brie. I don't know much of her, like what she's in, but she was one of the voices in BoJack. I think she was Diane. Sam Neill. All right. What's it about? I'm not going to read it out loud. Sorry, guys. You're going to have to Google it like I am, so I don't read. All right. Did you like it, Mom? Did it hook you at least for the first episode? Is it going to be worth the 8 or 10 episode series? Sometimes you get these like weird 6 episode series. And then also, you guys can throw in the comments also if you're watching this later. How do you guys feel about limited series television? Some people don't like it. They fall in love with the first 8 episodes and they want another season. Sometimes people won't watch it because they know that there is no second season. That's fair. I'll watch it all. I'll take a one season just story with one great story, and I don't care what happens at the end. I mean, I would prefer a second season, but if I have to do one, I'll take the one. All right. Something that I'm excited for coming up. Oh, it won awards a couple weeks ago for mystery. I like a good mystery. What was Dead Ringer with Rachel Weisz was interesting. I don't know if it was so much mystery as it was like thriller-ish, but definitely a lot of like they hid a lot of stuff. What was going on? I can handle it. I can take a mystery from time to time. What awards? What kind of awards did it win? And I don't even keep track of what do we call it anymore? Award season. I could have sworn the Emmys already passed, and then they're coming up again. So I'm also losing track of time. So all right, so it's only 7 episodes. I can do that. Let's see, it did win some. Oh, okay. I'm gonna look into it. It sucks because every time I say I'm gonna look into something, I find something else that takes my attention. But when I run out of everything else, I end up coming back to all these other shows. Upcoming shows that I am definitely looking forward to is there's one documentary already out. I think it's on HBO. Quite on Set, The Dark Side of Kid TV. 4-part docu-series about mostly like Nickelodeon. I think it was what it was. Nickelodeon back in the 90s. And Dan, what's his name? Schroeder. He was the producer and creator of most of the kid content that we all fell in love with back in the 90s. All that, The Amanda Show, Jake and Josh, and a couple of other ones. What's interesting about, though, I'm trying not to go too hot take on this because I don't want to get canceled, but it is fascinating to hear about, because like we love all these shows, but we never know about the behind the scenes stuff. Like it was like maybe years later, like Mom Loves 90210, but then like later you find out all the drama that was happening behind the scenes. Like Andrea Zuckerberg, they never wanted on the show after like because she was like 48 when she started the show. Like she was like 15, 20 years older than everybody else, but she just looks young. And then like her horror problems throughout the shoot. So it's like it's weird to like we watch these things that we love and then not realize that there's horrific things happening in the back. Seems like a very interesting documentary. There was one part of it that is, I don't know. So, all right, I'm taking a different direction. what's weird is like I listen to Pod Meets World, which is the podcast about Boy Meets World. And what is frustrating in the podcast aspect of it is listening to 40 and 50-year-old kid actors rewatching their old stuff. It gets really weird, and it's really off-putting because, like on the Pod Meets World, they rewatch all the episodes, right? But they're super critical of themselves and of like the subject material. Now we get where television and like we have to be like super PC and inclusive and respectful to everybody. Like we totally get that, right? But when they watch when kid actors rewatch themselves through a 40-year-old lens versus the 12-year-old lens, it freaks me out, man, because like they're so hard on everything. I listened to an episode recently, hi grandma, where they like all three of them. So the guy who played Sean Topanga and Eric Matthews, right? Ryder Strong, Danielle Fishel, and Will Friedle. I'm giving people credit. But they watched this episode and they're like, oh, this is a horrible. It was the Thanksgiving episode. And they're like, it was set up with the idea of class differences, right? Social classes. And they just tore the whole thing apart where they're like, well, this doesn't make sense. This wouldn't happen. Why do we have to portray the trailer park people as like weird hillbilly? And it's just like, I don't know why we can no longer accept 30-year-old television show. And that I think is what I'm trying to get at, is that's what pisses me off, is like, oh, well, that wouldn't work today. No shit, it wouldn't work today. But what they're doing is they're stomping all over a television show that I grew up with and I love. And then to hear people who are from the show pretend like they care, like they're like, oh, we love the experience, we love all this. And then when they go back and then they just tear the entire episode apart, it irritates the crap out of me. Because it's like, I'm not looking for your hot take and your wokeness on a rewatch. Hello. And it's, oh, and like every kid star right now is doing rewatches. The two girls from Full House, they're doing one now. And it's, oh my God, like it just irritates the crap out of me that we're looking at old stuff through a newer lens. And then obviously you're not going to like it. But that was the time. And I don't know if like, it's not the excuse, but we didn't know any better back then. Like, isn't that like what we've learned throughout all of history? Is like we learn from our mistakes. So like you needed those mistakes in the 90s. It built your career, and then to go back and then shit all over it, like this freaks me out, dude. I hate it. We also have the rest of season 3 Chucky coming out. He looks crazy. Like, look at the trailer for it. Season 3, part 2. But what? Okay, I'm gonna go back here. What is the alternative to wax nostalgia on old episodes? No, I get it. Wax nostalgic about the old episodes and be like, and I'll even take some of the criticism as an actor who 30 years removed is now directing, they're writing, and they're making television, they're making movies, and that things could be done differently. Like every once in a while, they talk about you can see the boom mic in the shot sometimes at the end, or some of the set design. Like in Boy Meets World, they have a banner. There's always a blood drain. They always make fun of it. Like, I'll take that. But when you're like an hour and a half, every time they see a trailer park or someone who lives in a trailer park, and that they reinforce again that they aren't okay with this stereotypical depiction of trailer park people, and then just be like, oh, shame on them. I wish the writers never did this. And it's like I got that for the first 20 minutes, and like they lose track of what the theme of the episode was. And it's like, so you have the Matthews, which are middle class, right? Mom, dad, 3 kids. And then you got Sean Hunter, who lives in a trailer park. All of season 2, dad ran off and left Sean by himself. Mom ended up coming back season 3. And it's a typical like trailer park, like stereotypical trailer park family, right? Dad doesn't work that much. Sean's in trouble all the time, and then it is what it is. But for a holiday episode, if you wanted to touch base on social class differences, you have to write with what you have. And in this case, they were like the Matthews are the richer people, and then the Hunters are the poor people. And like it's not that far of a difference. That like I don't know. I just wish they wouldn't harp so much on like, well, it's not that big of a difference. And it's like, but that's the episode they wanted to write. They wanted to try to like educate people on like social classes. But the theme of the episode is fairly straightforward, whereas analysts, but that's what they do is they just go super hard on like they never really focus on like the main story and like what we're trying to get at. And then, yeah, it was the first episode I refused to watch and I to finish it. I did email them a while ago, one of the season 3 episodes, and it was like, hey, I said I get your opinions and I'll take it. I said you cannot spend an hour and a half just shitting all over an entire episode that I personally enjoyed. It was I don't know if you guys ever watched Whimsy. It was one season 3 where they went to Disneyland. It's a pretty like in the lore of Whimsy's World. It's an iconic episode because that's where they, according to Finger, got back together. But for an hour and a half, they're like, "Why were we even in Disneyland?" I'm like, play with me for a minute, man. Just like, I don't know. Like life's too short to be like. Plus, you can't fix it. I think that's where the problem happens. It's no one suggesting that they remake that episode and do it the same, but to like just shit all over it, like different goals and podcasts. What you as a fan emotionally connected with the show is looking for. I don't know. I mean. If their goal is, it's because it's not their goal is to be, the goal is to like relive the good times. And sometimes there's bad times. Like and I totally get all of that. But to go that hard on it, and I think that's what, and it's not that often, I guess. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys have any shows, podcasts where they go too hard on themselves through a 40-year-old lens? Yeah, because you can even tell it in some of the reboots where they obviously take the same storyline and they just tweak it to make it way more like 2024 friendly. Thank you for the oh, look at that. So we got some discussion already. Wait until we get to the next one. You guys are gonna be like jumping in. Chucky 3 is coming out. The Star Trek. Do we have any Star Trek fans? Star Trek Discovery. I know Corey didn't watch it, but he's a big Star Trek fan. Last season coming out the 3rd. So keep an eye on it. Fantastic series. They did some really weird things with it because they went into the past, like before the original Star Trek, made some shit happen, and then they shoot freaking in the, I don't know. It's fantastic. It's a great show. A lot of money put into that show. Lots of money. Like, it's a good show. I enjoy the Star Treks. So those are what I'm looking forward to. Is Star Trek, Chucky. I might watch Quiet on Set, but I might not. I think I got most of it. Obviously, if anybody pays attention to the news early in the week, you already knew that this thing was coming out. Who was it? Josh Bell or Drake? Drake. what's Drake's name? I think it was Josh Bell. No, it was Drake. I don't know. I don't know who it was. One of the kids came out and talked about it. So some controversy about it. It's interesting and it's fascinating, but it will be the first thing off my list as I keep piling more stuff on. But I will eventually get to it because I do think it's an interesting idea, or to kind of know what was going on. Anybody else watching anything on TV? Grandma, what are you watching? Rita, what are you watching? Yeah, nothing. Now there was one show that I was watching, like the whole second half of the week, and I think it's going to be this week's conversation. How cool is that, right? Kelly's watching Monk. I never watched Monk. What TV shows do you guys watch, like that you've already seen, but you go back and rewatch? I try not to, because like there's so much television. Like part of me is like, all right, if I'm gonna watch 40 hours, I prefer to watch something 40 hours of new. But it never works because I rewatched all of House, all 8 seasons of House. I went back and watched all 6 seasons of White Collar. Gilmore Girls, Scrubs. I have not gone back to do Scrubs yet. I think I found House instead of Scrubs and Gilmore Girls. I ended up watching Sports Night. Like I rewatch that one all the time. Every once in a while I get like a little to watch, so I just go back and watch some comfort television. What's the rewatch for House of Women's Rule? Well, it's a podcast. I just listen to it. I don't rewatch it. I have not actually gone back to watch any of the Boy Meets World stuff since they've been doing the podcast. I should, because they point out a couple of things that are pretty funny. All right. So the previous graphic. So make note takers out there. Make a note. I need to announce when I'm moving forward. Allow a couple of minutes, so that way I don't step all over Kelly's Gilmore Girls and Scrubs. Note to self. Rabbit hole discussion. All right. So here's what we're going to. So let me see what this one looks like. I think there's another thing after this. Look at all the cool stuff I've done. Ready? Check this out.
Recently, there have been a lack of TV that showed the idea ignores working class families. There is a sea of TV series about families whose problems skim the surface of financial reality, stories that are unclear or unfocused, showing class anxieties in the way that only comfortably middle and upper middle class families can be oblivious. There is one show that seems like it stands alone to depict opposite of TV's otherwise comfortable, wealthy waters. There are not enough television shows about working class families and people with blue-collar jobs. There are not enough sitcoms that focus on retail employees or young people with college educations and no way to pay for their own housing. There are not enough sitcoms about families with lower-level white-collar jobs who still can't afford to get by. By the end of the season, it had become the country's #2 primetime series, topped only by another family sitcom, The Cosby Show. Although there have been other working-class shows, Roseanne depicted a family more real than any seen on television before. The series often played up the shtick of Roseanne Connor as a bad mom, a persona Barr helped propagate and that would pick up speed in pop culture decades later. She found a way to turn the insult of being poor and a woman inside out. Although Roseanne Connor sometimes pretends to be lazy and a lousy mom, she is neither. Always finding a way to keep the family afloat, she supports her kids through elopements, pregnancy, and disappointments, and she bolsters her husband through job loss, depression, and illness.
Okay, to be fair, I wrote that today in like a couple. Like it took me a minute, but I got a transcribe so I don't have to read it. You don't have to listen to me fumble over that. What is that? What? Ben's got countdowns. He's got behind the like music playing in the background. He's got clips. He's got transitions. He's got PowerPoints. What? What's he doing? And he still watches all that TV. How cool is that? That's why I need a voiceover guy. So I can type up something. You guys can I can sort of voice that over. So let's see. Roseanne, right? So that's the rabbit hole that I fell down. I'm watching the Connors. I'm watching clips of the Connors. On YouTube, you can find like these hour-and-a-half long videos that play like 12-minute chunks of episodes. None of it's titled, so I can't keep track of any of it. But I've literally watched hundreds of hours in 2 days. Like there's not even enough hours in a day, right? So I fell down this rabbit hole because, like the voiceover guy said, right? We don't see old Roseanne. Remember, like back in 96, 97. You never saw television with poor families. Now, I get that television has like vastly improved, and there are shows that depict like the poorness, right? Shameless is kind of one, but it's not a sitcom. That's a Showtime show. Mostly, we're talking about sitcoms. The 30 minutes, your Full Houses, Raymond. I realize Raymond. Who else is there? Like most of the shows that we see now, they don't do like we've steered away from putting poor people on television. And if we do, it's in a funny way, right? Like you're Always Sunnies, they're always kind of into shenanigans. Even back then, Married with Children, like they were poor, but they always played it up as super fun. Like they try to go for more like the funny, make fun of being poor. Whereas like what Roseanne did was they leaned into it and they made jokes about being poor. So I really enjoyed this Connors, man. Like they are holding true to what they were doing in the 90s. It is freaking crazy how good it is. I got a couple of videos real quick, and then we can kind of maybe discuss if necessary. All right. Okay, look at this. Look. Pause this, and then I can play it. Maybe. Okay, this first one. Oh, hold on. It went. Oh, shoot. Pause it. Hold on. That's where I needed. Okay, I got this.
Bolsters her husband through job loss, depression, and illness.
Okay, I have to pause it in between each. Okay, so if we remember, Malcolm in the Middle was also poor, but they also did it for the jokes too, right? Like they leaned in like over the top, like not realistic. To be fair, I never watched Malcolm in the Middle, but it also like I'm not saying that there's never any poor people on television, but definitely not in the way that Roseanne did it. More than other sitcoms. Yeah. They definitely have the and they have like the ongoing like the ongoing storyline of the dark, right? So sometimes like you could probably find like Boy Meets World again, because that's not what I can think of right offhand. Like they have those very special episodes, and it was I think they even trademarked the very special episode as that one off in the middle of a series to kind of get a more like real topic through. Full House did it when Stephanie's little friend was getting beat, when they were smoking cigarettes, and it's all a one-off, and then you never see the kid ever again. Roseanne definitely leaned into the dark side of shit, and they like whole season would be about Jackie going through. Who was it? Jackie was getting beat by her husband Fred, I think, and then like yeah. So yes, but you can't say that Roseanne is not funny. I got some clips, some of the funniest shit, but on a dark side. So let's see if it actually plays now. Hold on. No, it used to play. Give me a second. I can figure this out. Hold on. All right. Then we're gonna have to go the long way for it. How did it play earlier? Let me think. Okay. I will just find it on YouTube and share screen. So one of these, the second clip's for my mom. We had a conversation yesterday, and I told her I was going to make fun of her today. So we're just going to, and I got to the point where I don't care if I get copyrighted. I really don't. I'm leaving everything in for now. As long as it's not a hard strike, I don't care anymore. Let's see, the Connors, Jackie. What was the name of that? At this, scroll back over. Upset with Dan. Okay. Jackie upset. With Dan. Now, what's really fun about as I fall down this rabbit hole, right, of watching the Connors and just getting real nostalgic about Roseanne, is that they brought everybody back, and it is fascinating how good they still are. Like Lori Metcalf, I never appreciated her in the original series as much as I appreciate her as an actress now. She fucking bonkers, man. She is so good as a supporting actress. Share screen. All right. I gotta figure out how to make these clips better, but we're gonna wing it right here. All right. So here's just an example of serious but funny. Spoiler alert, if you guys didn't keep up with Roseanne back 6 years ago, Roseanne said something in real life. She got kicked off the show, and then they were killing her off. So Roseanne is still spoken of, but she's technically been killed off. And let's give you guys a full screen. All right, there we go. Shit, mute.
A chat.
Write you a check for the Vespa parts. Heard you had a nice chat with Peter.
We had a chat.
What'd you talk about?
Oh, we touched on a lot of things. We had a wide-ranging discussion about a variety of topics.
Did you threaten to loofah his face with a brick wall?
We may have covered that.
And did you talk about how you think he's taking advantage of me and how I'm a stupid old woman?
No.
Have you noticed that I'm talking increasingly louder and louder?
I had begun to notice that, yes.
How dare you talk to my boyfriend about things that are private between him and me?
You're in denial about this guy. All you do is give, and all he does is take.
You're totally wrong. He treats me well, Dan. It's an equal relationship, and he gives me so much. We have fun together. We talk, we discuss books. He brings me pancakes in bed.
I don't think you understand how much pancakes cost. You asked me to be a sounding board like Rosie used to be. I'm just doing what she would have done.
Roseanne would have come to me first and tried to break down my self-esteem until I broke up with him. And you did not show me the same respect.
Look, I'm keeping my eye on this guy. I don't want to see you get hurt.
Well, thank you for caring. I'm a grown woman. I can handle myself. Do we understand each other?
We do.
And we both know that we love each other.
We do.
And if you ever do something like this again, I will move in here, and so help me, I will bring Mom with me.
You cannot almost imagine the scale.
On like Lori Metcalf, man, huge props to her. She's freaking amazing. I love her so much. Yeah. So I guess more clips for you guys. This one's for mom. See if I can find it. Oh, you suck. Okay, I gotta go this way. Kitchen. Jackie, kitchen. Kitchen. All right, I'm getting slightly faster at this, guys. Okay, we share the screen again. I'm gonna play 4 of these, and then I'll get back into the comments. If you guys want to leave some comments while you're watching these, I'll give you guys about 8 minutes to leave some notes, and I can go back and catch them up for you guys. All right. I don't know if I'm going to give a lot of context with this, but check it out.
Don't touch anything. I've got a system.
What are you doing?
I am making life easier with the kitchen work triangle concept that I saw on TV. So the flow should be from the refrigerator to the stove to the sink. Therefore, the coffee maker, which needs milk from the fridge, coffee from a canister next to the stove, and water from the sink, should be in the geometric heart of the triangle, which is right here.
Where do we plug it in?
Yeah. I will go into the basement. I will drill a hole through the kitchen floor, install a decorative pipe, which we can paint to match the ceiling or the floor, run a cable up through the pipe, drill a hole through the center of the kitchen table, install an outlet. Bam! We're making coffee.
My mom's 2 TV shows away from doing that. Oh man. Oh, that was for you, Mom. Oh, other grandma will get it. Most of you guys won't get it, but trust me, that was fucking hilarious. Oh, all right. What was the other clip I had? Oh, that's so funny. Okay, we got the kitchen. All right, so now we were talking about humor on the dark side of things, right? But this next one is Jackie, get out here. Connors, nope, go back. You suck. Becky doesn't want to go home. Hold on. Oh, that was so much fun. I enjoyed every bit of that. My mom's gonna pretend like she's not that bad, but she's not that bad. But sometimes when she I mean, she has most of the changes she's been making makes sense, but what happens when we run out of good ideas? Oh, that was so funny. And all right, here's the next clip. This one's 1.5 minutes long. All right, full screen. Nope, no full screen yet. All right, share screen. It used to play. I swear to God, you could click the button and it was supposed to play. And I don't know why it's not. Because it's paused. All right, I'm gonna try something on the next one. Share screen, hold on. See, it was going so good too. Everything was so smooth until I got to this part. But to be fair, this is the part I knew I was going to struggle with. All right, so I'm going to share screen. All right, Becky is back home. We have the original Becky from season 1, 2, and 3. So we have original Becky. She moved back home. Mark Haley died in a motorcycle accident, so she came back home to Lamford, and she may or may not have a drinking problem.
Where's Becky?
Oh, she's back here. She's not in a good place.
Hey, look at you sitting on a bucket behind a bar.
I see it all so clearly now. Even if I work, every dime will go to childcare. So I've decided to let the hospital keep little Bev.
Uh-huh.
They've got a cafeteria, so she'll eat good. And I can watch her from afar in the kids' play area. I've seen that in the movies.
Well, clearly I rushed down here for nothing. You know what? You're gonna come home. You're gonna live rent-free where people can help you.
But if I move back in, I'm just admitting I couldn't make it on my own, and I'm just a big fat loser.
That's what I did. It's very freeing.
Hey, bud, how was work?
I'm not afraid of you.
Everything is gonna be okay. Becky's gonna come home and live with us for a while.
Good. That starts now. Grab her coat and take her back to the house.
Hey, I am not totally giving up my independence here. I will grab my own coat.
Okay. Let me help you to the car, and then I'll come back in here real quick and grab some toilet paper.
All right. So again, like we still have funny, but as you watch the rest of the episode, they're all homeless basically at this point. That's why they all moved back into the dance house. And then like the whole season is basically everybody losing a job, trying to find money. She just had a baby, so she's like, baby won't accept me for nursing. It was a preemie baby. I have the job, but I have no daycare. So like it touches on like some really like common issues that we don't necessarily see in some of your other sitcoms. Hold on, I got one more, maybe two, but definitely one. This one was funny. This one probably takes the biggest, gets laughs with probably the darkest of storylines. So, all right, good. Yeah. And I skip. Okay, hold on. Okay, pause. All right. I bet you if I put the presentation on play, I think I need to put the clip the size of the video, so that way as it continues to play, it's playing through its the yeah, you guys get it. Okay, here we go. All right. All right, we're sharing. And
Where's Beverly Rose?
She used to sleep in Dan's room. We were up all night with her. She had a fever of 103.
What? Why didn't you wake me up?
I tried to. You were passed out drunk.
No, I wasn't. I was just exhausted.
Exhausted from the vodka curls you were doing?
Oh, what, the bottle on my end table? That was a gift. And I only took one sip.
Oh, well, then some cheap ass gave you a half bottle of vodka. Come on, Becky. Train wreck recognizes train wreck. Unless you always sleep in your clothes with your shoes on.
Okay, train wreck. So you've never been so exhausted that you fell asleep in your clothes?
Hey, it's okay, Aunt Becky. You don't need to be embarrassed. We all want to help you.
I don't need your help, especially not from a half-ass life coach and a weed dealer.
Okay, not true. You do if you need weed.
Come on. Becky, you have a problem.
The only problem I have is my baby is sick and you are keeping me from taking her to urgent care.
I know you're looking for these, and there's no way in hell you're driving that child anywhere right now. You fall asleep drunk, you wake up drunk.
Harris, give me the keys to your car.
I can't do that.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. I gave them to Aunt Jackie because I know you could take me.
Damn it, Jackie, give me the keys.
Harris, get out. Becky, don't start none, won't be none.
Ah! Ow! That hurts!
That's why it works.
Oh, that's enough. That's enough. Cool your jets.
Jackie won't let me have the baby because I had a sip of vodka before I went to bed.
It was more than a sip.
And you had a glass of wine the other night.
No one conjured you up, Sabrina. And so what if I did? I can handle it. Some people can have a problem and then find out they can keep it under control.
I don't think that's the case with you, Becky.
I am one of those people, and I am a great mom, so back off!
Okay, I wasn't gonna tell you this, but now I'm gonna have to. When I went downstairs and found you passed out, Beverly Rose had rolled off your bed and she was stuck between the bed and the wall and she couldn't breathe. And thank God I went down there when I did.
Oh my God. I could have killed her.
Okay, that was a lie. She was in her crib.
What?
But you didn't know that because you were blackout drunk, and maybe next time you don't put her in the crib and then something even worse happens.
Jeez, Jackie, give me a heads up next time so I don't have a heart attack.
You need to deal with this, Becky.
Okay. I'll go cold turkey. I've done it before.
You can't do this by yourself. You need to go somewhere.
Okay, I'll go. Now can I see my baby?
I'll go get her.
I'll start looking for rehabs.
I don't know how we're going to afford that.
Don't worry. It won't be nice.
So yeah, interesting stuff. I love the show. I can't find it anywhere to watch it all the way through. I'm just watching these clips. So I guess the bit that I have is there a discussion? Could we see more sitcoms tackling the big, real issues that happen to a lot of us, all of us mostly, right? I don't know. I think it was interesting, but it's like I said, it's an ongoing, like season-long arc where Becky's fighting alcohol. She has a drink. She doesn't have a drink. She falls off the wagon or whatever else. So it's not just a one-off episode, but it does tackle the dark issues and tries to make a little bit of light of it, because that's what you need. Because yes, sitcoms are supposed to be funny. So they throw in the Roseanne, one-liners in there to kind of lighten the mood a little bit because shit gets really heavy on some of these. So discuss. What do we think? Do we like Roseanne? Does anybody else like Roseanne? Put my pictures there. Did anybody watch the original run? I know we did back in the day for I think like I remember watching it with Mom weekly, and I think we all fell off that last season after they won the lottery, right? Like, and then obviously we came back for the finale, and then that was just a huge sham. But the best part about that finale was it opened the door for us to allow Connors to happen. Yeah. Should I add a laugh track? Hi, Carly. That's so funny. Let's see. Had that sarcastic humor and realism that most other sitcoms didn't. And I think that's what kind of made Roseanne so special back in the day, right? Like it was that one thing on television that we weren't used to seeing because it was second to Cosby Show, right? So Cosby Show is Black family, doctor, and was she a lawyer? What was Mom? Huxtable. What was her name? Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, everybody did really well in big house, multiple story. Never was there a story arc in which the Huxtables couldn't pay for rent. Their car got repoed, evicted. It was a great show. Good, had its family values. But again, so like I really enjoyed Roseanne. I thought the original series was good, and I'm very much enjoying the Connors. Because it was originally listed as Roseanne until she got kicked out, and then they converted over to the Connors. So I don't know what the timeline is, if they retconned those first 2 seasons of New Roseanne as the Connors or not, or if we just completely forget them. But what was her name? The lady who played Mom, Bev. She's 96 years old, and she came back and she reprised her role as Jackie's mom, Bev, and she is amazing. She is the fact that all these characters came back 30 years later and are still able to tap into the characters from the original. It's so good. You can definitely tell that there's a lack of Roseanne. Like Roseanne obviously brought something to the show. That's why there's like 100 people on the show now. Like everybody has a husband and 2 kids, and then so everybody's living in the same house, right? But it looks like they're running it more towards like Darlene becoming the new Roseanne. She's the one trying to manage and handle everything. Yeah. A couple of things, like I was reading some other stuff about it. I couldn't find out why we don't see more real sitcoms. Probably because to get more real, go to like an HBO or Showtime or one of those, or even streaming, right, where you can get way darker and then kind of all the jokes. But I don't know. I think there's something charming about a sitcom that gets into like some of the really real stuff. You know, because then we used to. Isn't that what the whole idea behind television was? It's like why every television had a mom, dad, and then like the 2.5 kids, right? Is because like the idea when you build a television show is you need to represent your audience, and then kids television, right? That's why they push so hard for kids to be in the kid content. Is they're like, we want kids to be able to see themselves in television. And after Roseanne, man, we stopped. Because I haven't seen too many shows. Like no one can relate to Friends. No one can relate to living in those nice apartments in New York with a waitress job in a cafe, or an actor who doesn't act. What other shows are there? Everybody Loves Raymond, good show too, but I don't know how like deep they went into their stuff because he was obviously more comedian and more comedic stuff. So yeah, it's a discussion. Think about it, guys, over the week. Why we don't see it in general. I say different audience for sitcoms versus dramas. Obviously work great for Roseanne, but why do we need lighter subject material? It gets in, I mean, I don't know, any of us with kids, that they are raised differently than we were when we were kids, right? So I don't know how to say it. I guess they're softer. It's basically what I'm trying to say. I don't know a nice way to say it. Kids today are soft. I don't know, like, why couldn't Lamb get into like the Connors? You haven't even watched some. Hold on. You haven't ever watched something I want to. Yeah, I totally get that. Like I watch some like garbage because it's light and easy, but there's lots of light easy. There's lots of drama, but not sitcom. There's a lot of content out, but the representation of a poor family in the Roseanne way does not exist outside of one or two shows. I think we did it on the episode 3, The Dark Side of Television. The amount of television that's being produced on network, cable, streaming is like 200 shows, like new shows, like titles, like a year are being produced or considered. And the fact that like we got the Connors, and I'm not trying to sound like super ignorant. Like I don't watch sitcoms. I don't watch network television, so I don't know a lot of other sitcoms out there. I just know that I did put a little presentation together, and I don't see a lot of other shows jumping out. Because if I want light and easy, sure, I can go back and I can watch The Scrubs. What else is out there? Fuller House, Girl Meets World. Like I have no problem watching light and easy. But in a day of 2024 where we want everybody represented, because we still don't like looking at poor people. Like I think like that's the hot take that we come from this is like the Connors. Darlene's son, Mark, is gay. He was non-binary for a minute, but then he's gay. We got preemie babies. We got DJ married an African American lady, has an African American daughter. So like we're getting all this representation that checks all the boxes for 2024. But the bottom, what the Connors are doing is they check the extra box that says let's be poor and like be extra poor. I don't know. I just think it's interesting, and I think it is a testament of what 2024 is versus 94. Is somewhere we got. I don't know what the reason is, but somehow we got away from, because all right, so Roseanne, before Roseanne, you had, again, they played it up for last two, but you had like the Honeymooners, you had Archie Bunker and All in the Family. Like we've seen poor people in television before, right? But now a lot of your big TVs, you're not seeing a lot of those anymore. You'll see like lower middle versus lower. So I don't know. Like they make televisions, like it got away. Like television now is the thing where we're going to make content for people to escape, as opposed to relate. Like that almost seem fair. I don't know. Anybody watching this on the after, by all means, for sure. Please leave comments in there. I have no problem doubling back on the next Monday and then touching base on some of you guys' topics again. And we'll do like a small wrap up if we need to. If you think I'm totally crazy and that if there are other poor people shows, again, not trying to be ignorant, but if there are, let me know. And if you have a reason or an idea of why they're not, I'm curious, because I am fascinated with society and social norms, and then somehow this is no longer a social norm. All right, that's all I got for you guys. I'll leave it. I'll hang out for a couple more minutes in case anybody has anything they want to put in the chats. Shout out to let's see, Joyce Ann. She consistently putting Whimsy in the comments when she watches the shows. So thank you for that. And then again, everybody, not the chat, but in the comments, if you hit the little X, you'll get the breakdown and some comments. Throw in some Whimsies in there. Hit the thumbs up. What do we think of the new show? So I'm not going to guarantee that every week's going to have this deep kind of discussion, but I'll find something to discuss. Or, like I said, I can take the discussion out. We can put something else in. But these are just 3 of multiple segments that we can do. Obviously, I think getting to know me will stay. Pocket watch will probably stay. But if you guys have ideas that you guys like to see, I can make other segments. And I did all this myself. So I can make more graphics and more animations. But I enjoyed this episode today. Not as fun as some of the other ones, or the mind pockets, but entertaining nonetheless, I think. So I don't think I've ever said that every episode would be funny, but hopefully you guys got you thinking a little bit. Give you guys some updates on some television, and then that I have new backyard furniture. Did everybody hit the thumbs up? I can't check it. Hold on, I'm gonna check and see how many thumbs up we have. There's 8 people in the chat. I better have 8 thumbs ups. How do I do that? I'm gonna turn the volume down. And I can't find it. I have 6 thumbs up. Who's not liking this? All right, hour 40. If you guys got here late, watch the first couple of minutes, see what we did with it, so you guys can stay up to date with everything. The pre-show will only be 10 minutes from now on, because the beginning, I guess I can just fucking show you. Hold on. So I have a countdown. Right? How cool is that? So it's 10 minutes because we can't find a 15-minute countdown. So I'll play with some audio stuff. But yeah. Appreciate the feedback over the last couple of weeks. You guys helped me get to this place. So any other suggestions, by all means, please let me know. I don't know. The first 2 are easy. I don't know what next week's going to look like. I had fun with this one because I fell down the rabbit hole. So, yeah, I care to keep it structured like this a little bit, I think. But anybody have any fun ideas? By all means, send us emails at whimsy@chasingthewhimsy.com. Any leaves suggestions in the comments. Whimsy in the comments. That's all I got for you guys. Yeah, that's all I got. Again, hey, thanks everybody for hanging out. And we'll see you guys. You may or may not see me on Saturday. Maybe, maybe not. My schedule is a little janky on Saturday. But I'll keep you guys all updated. There's a chance I do it earlier, like right at 3. So 50-50 if there's gonna be a Saturday. And if I do skip Saturday, Monday I'll do the Mind Pockets. So that way the Monday crowd can see what a Mind Pocket looks like in case they don't watch it on Saturday. Kind of give everybody a taste of that. But that's all I got for you guys. You have a good night. Whimsy.